thatmovieguyUK.
The Trials and Trepidations of Terry Gilliam's The Man Who Killed Don Quixote has been well publicised and well advertised, and we will not discuss this in this video because it has been discussed to death, and you can go on the internet to discover what has actually happened to the man who killed Don Quixote, along with a documentary called Lost in La Mancha. Okay, so I must say that one of the main things and the main reasons I went to LFF this year was for the actual cinematic release of The Man Who Killed Don Quixote by Terry Gilliam. I have been a very avid fan of Gilliam's films. I am not always a lover of what he's made, but I respect him as an amazing directorial artist that he actually is, and he has really challenged my imagination and really enhanced my viewing pleasure sometimes, but like I said, not all the time. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote is the story of Toby, who is played by Adam Driver. He is a sellout of a director who now just makes commercials and has basically lost all of his artistic freedom for money, which most directors do. And he is on location in a little small part of the world where he actually realizes this is actually where he shot his actual student film based on Don Quixote, and decides to explore his old sets and see who he comes across. He actually eventually ends up with the title character Don Quixote, who is actually in a trailer and still thinks he is Don Quixote. They then basically end up going on a rabbit hole of an adventure, and a lot of crazy shiz goes on. What can be said about The Man Who Killed Don Quixote is that the first part is very interesting. I really enjoy the aspect of how I would say a lot of young people can look at film sets and how, yes, they run, and I think the greed of some artists these days is very well portrayed in this film, especially from Toby, played by Adam Driver. Once we actually come across Jonathan Pryce's Don Quixote, I think that this film really does go on a very interesting adventure, but unfortunately it becomes very, very underwhelming towards the midpoint to the actual ending. The ending itself is actually quite sweet, but the whole middle section doesn't exactly fit for me. I am pretty happy with genre splicing, but I really don't know where I would categorize this film, and it's just not the power that I wanted from it, and in all honesty, it's quite disappointing. You just don't really see the message that Gilliam's trying to bring in this film. You don't really see the actual point of what is actually going on. It's just this very kooky adventure with very great product design, very good set design, very good actual live action sequences, and from what I gather, not much CGI. And then that's the joy of Gilliam. He always makes films that actually do aesthetically please you, but the aesthetic really is mainly the crowning jewel of this film. I do honestly think that Driver and Jonathan Pryce actually work very well together. I really think that Driver is a good comedic actor, and I loved his little song and dance at one point in the film. It's very good. With Pryce, I think he plays Don Quixote de la Mancha so well, and I really do enjoy his performance, but them together is really the only thing that kept me going through this film, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I've seen Lost in La Mancha or I know what's actually happened. It just feels like this very incohesive ending, and it was very odd. But I must say, at the beginning of my screening, there's like 20 odd years in the making, and then directed by Terry Gilliam, and then this massive roar of applause came out, and that was worth the ticket price itself. And you can just respect what Gilliam's actually made. He's worked very hard to get this film done, and his health has come at cost for it. He has gone to numerous court trials for it, and I think the message of Don Quixote is not necessarily the film, but as an artist, I think it is a very important way to show that your perseverance for making a passion project actually come to life. Not even Orson Welles could make this film, and he tried, but Terry Gilliam eventually prevailed, and I think that's a very admirable thing. But unfortunately, the style and the substance of it, it just doesn't really give it a very cohesive conclusion, and I honestly just can't think of a way to tell you that I learned something from it or I ever want to watch this film ever again. But my respect for Gilliam is strong, and I am glad that he actually got to make this film in the end. Obviously, my written review is on my website, www.thatmovieguyuk.wordpress.com, and all my details are below. If you're a new subscriber, thank you again for subscribing. I truly appreciate anybody that is liking, commenting, sharing, or anyway, even just engaging with me on any kind of messaging. I am very appreciative of it, and yeah, thank you. And obviously, as you see on this channel, diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shins, and obviously, never change. Ciao.